Hey, it's Davis, and if you want an awesome salad dressing along with a metformin-like effect without even having to take metformin, not only are you going to want to check out this recipe, you are going to want to check out the case study link information in the description. So let's get right into it. Now, hey, real quick, if you haven't already, make sure that you like, subscribe, and let me know if there's any other, recipes that you'd like me to share, or if there's a certain particular recipe that you'd like me to, maybe even test out and maybe even test my blood sugar here on the channel. All right, so not only that, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. That way you can get fresh love and fresh content as I'm making it. Nobody wants stale love, right? Well, anyways, let's get right into it. In one of these things here. Now, naturally, you can use a mason jar. I'm just using one of these, mason jar, collapsy, whatever you want to call it things, right? Inside of that, I'm going to start with some rosemary, okay? Rosemary. Now, the beautiful thing about rosemary is that the ACS Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that because of the polyphenols and flavonoid content of rosemary, it actually helped fight, type 2 diabetes. Now, naturally, I'll tell you right now, it was a limited study, so they do say that, obviously a little more information is needed. However, it just kind of goes to show, hey, look, you don't have to go to a really nice restaurant to eat some really good food, and at the same time, you might as well use it to our advantage, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there, right? And then ingredient number 2 is gonna be this stuff here, okay? Some sage, okay? The beautiful thing about sage is that the British Journal of Medicine has actually done a case study on the benefits of sage for type 2 diabetics, all right? Really just kind of helping lower, blood sugars and really just kind of helping across the board. I'm also going to put a link for another article by Healthline in the description below. Now, I'm not going to use it in whole form, okay? I actually have it chopped up like this. Bingo. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of dump this in there, all right? On top of that, I'm going to go ahead and just for the flavor, really more than anything, I'm just going to throw some garlic, okay? And then on top of that, we are going to throw some organic extra virgin olive oil, all right? Super, super simple, okay? Now, literally, let this sit, okay? Let this stuff sit for about a good hour. So another thing with good olive oil is that you don't want to keep it in the light. Okay, so normally I will park this in the fridge where it will solidify, okay, and it does look like something from outer space. However, it tastes phenomenally well. Okay, now let's get onto the vinaigrette. Inside of one of these, okay, these are one of these little squirt top bottle things, right, you get from the store or whatever, right? Inside of one of these, I'm gonna go ahead and start with a little bit of garlic. Again, now obviously this second round of garlic obviously is optional. You might be thinking to yourself dang, D, you really are garlicky. Well, to be totally honest, yeah and no, only because the olive oil will normally drown out a lot of the flavor from this stuff, so I put just a little bit here in the vinaigrette as well. Okay, so let's kind of put these guys in here. I kind of already smashed it. Bingo. Now for the rest, we're going to use this guy. Now, next on the list is this stuff here, okay? Good old-fashioned whole grain Dijon. Now, if you don't like the taste of Dijon, right, you definitely got to try the whole seeds, only because, man, it tastes totally different, super, super mild, tastes phenomenally well. I'm just going to throw a bunch of this stuff in there, okay? Now, this is going to chalk up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use one of the sprigs of rosemary to actually get that through, okay? Next on the list is this guy, okay? Some good old-fashioned apple cider vinegar. Now, with apple cider vinegar, obviously works phenomenally well in driving down our blood sugars, right? Huge big benefit for us as type 2 diabetics. Now, if you've ever tried apple cider vinegar, a lot of times it actually tastes like battery acid, if I'm being totally honest. So what I found is that there's actually 2 ways to get rid of that bite, okay? First, you can throw in some of this, okay? These are, liquid aminos, okay? These are, this is actually a soy-based one. Obviously, if you want to do the paleo version of this, you can use coconut aminos, okay? This stuff tastes phenomenally well, and it takes the bite right out of that vinegar, okay? There's this, and there's also these, Okay. Now, the cool thing about the lemons or the liquid aminos, right, is that basically either one on their own can really kind of take that bite out of the vinegar. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and use both. Okay. So let's get right into it. Crappy thing is that I actually dug out a lot of the seeds. And since these are like the organic ones, there's like more seeds in there than I originally thought. However, just gonna make do with what we got, right? Boom. Let's go ahead and dump some of this stuff here. This stuff here. Now, if you've never made this before, which if you're watching this for the first time, you probably never have, obviously, right? The trick is I kind of filled mine pretty high, but the trick more than anything is to actually fill it, I would say like 3/4, okay? And here's why, okay? Let me show you. What we want to do, and the secret to this, making this thing taste phenomenal, okay, is to go ahead and, if I can get this thing on here, okay, go ahead, take this guy on here, go like yay, okay, shake this up, okay, then taste it, okay, then taste it, okay. That way, if you want a little more bite from the vinegar, right, I obviously used a lot of that liquid amino to really like drown it out, right. Go ahead and obviously, if you want it a little more, a little more mustardy or whatever, you can obviously put a little more of that mustard in there. Because again, the whole seed Dijon is very light, very, very light. Okay. At the same time, if you want a little bit more bite from the vinegar, you can add a little bit more. For me, I just kind of like been doing this for so long that, naturally it's kind of like natural or whatever. But yeah, this stuff along with that other, the olive oil is phenomenal, okay? Super, super magic. And that's all she wrote. So I absolutely hope that you enjoyed that one, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Later. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. It's breakfast for the monkey. And what are you having, babe?
Eggs and toast with cheese.
Awesome. So you got some fried eggs there with some cheese toast on top. Wonderful. And then I am going to have a frittata, basically just chicken breast with some cheese on top, hot sauce, and some infused extra virgin olive oil. In this oil, I have rosemary, sage, and garlic.